Okay, today I'm going to be showing you how to replace a duplex outlet. First things, you're going to want to prove that your power's off. You're going to want to use a known good circuit alert device. This one we have power. If you don't have one of these, you can use a lamp that you've proven is good in another outlet. And you can see this one, we have power in both places. As the lamp is on. So anyway, I'm going to go over to our breaker box and I'm going to turn the power out, get this going. So coming up here to our breaker box. The nice thing about if you've got a lamp plugged in is you can just look at your lamp to determine that the power is out. Just make sure you're testing it at both of your outlets. And see, now our power is out. Okay. If your outlet's cocked on, you're going to want to use a box cutter or a razor blade. Being careful and just slice through the caulking. You want to avoid slicing your wall, like I just sliced my wall a little bit, but nothing a little caulking or spackling can't fix. But anyway, an easy way to do this is just to lower the blade adjustment so that you're only going so far through the caulking. Wow, making a little mess anyway. My paint will cover that. I got to do a full paint here anyway. Anyway, let's get in this outlet here. Okay, we just remove the screw. And then pull our outlet cover off. And it's got two screws here that hold this on. Now you want to look at these side breakaway tabs, and if any are broken away, then you'll want to mimic that with your new outlet. This one's pretty straightforward. None of the breakaway tabs are broken apart, so it's just a straightforward outlet. It'll be a little bit clearer on a new outlet. That'll show you what I mean here. Okay. On these outlets, black goes on brass, white goes on silver, and green goes to ground, or a bare wire goes to ground. Here's the new outlet, and here's the breakaway tabs that I was telling you about. So we're going to mimic it exactly the same way that we see here. And it's a good idea just to mimic exactly what you have going on, unless you're getting into something more technical. Okay. And you can use a small finishing nail to hit the release tab to remove these, or if you have a little flat blade. I had one on my Leatherman, but it kind of broke off. So now I'm just using a little finishing nail here. Okay, so this is my top hot wire, top neutral wire, bottom hot wire, bottom neutral wire, and then the ground. And if the ground wire is long enough, you can either unscrew it or you can just trim it off. And then what we're going to do is curve this the way that it's going to be drawn into the screw. So on the ground wire on this side, we're going to be tightening the screw this way. So this is perfect for this way. When we tighten the screw down, it draws the wire into the screw. Okay. And if we had to side wire them, the same thing. You would curve the neutral down this way and the hot up this way. That way, as you're tightening the wires, they would tighten into the unit. On the back of the outlet, the new outlet, there's a strip gauge, and this tells you how much wiring insulation to strip off if you needed to. And you always want to use wire strippers. You always want to use wire strippers if you needed to strip the insulation. That way you don't nick the old wire or nick the wire and create a place where heat can build up. Okay, and these just press into place when they're quick wired. So this is how to quick wire an outlet. And if it's a little stubborn, you can grab it with a pair of pliers and just push it in. You want to make sure all your wires are seated all the way so that there's no exposed wiring back there. And then just fold your wire in nice and neat. As I always say, a good electrician is all about how you fold your wires. And then when seating these, we'll want to seat these nice and even and as level as we can. To make a nice uniform finish. And these new outlets can be pretty tough to plug a few things in the first few times. Just it goes from, you know, being too easy for stuff to fall out from the old outlet to being like super hard to plug anything in. And for this one, I've got a new cover since this one was pretty dirty. So here's my new cover, a nice new switch plate screw. Okay. And we'll just make sure everything seats nice and flush here. And it looks like we need to tighten the outlet in a little bit further. So no biggie. Tighten this down. We don't want it sitting out from the wall. We want it to seat nice and flush. That's going to be perfect. Okay. I like when the outlet shows a little bit here. And if you've got unbreakable outlet covers, that's even better. You can tighten this down as much as you want. If you got sensitive ones, you don't want to tighten this down too much. But you do always want to set your switch plates vertical, and that way it gives a nice uniform appearance. So I'll plug my lamp back in. And like I said, these new ones will be kind of tough to plug in. So I'll plug them in a couple times on the top and bottom just to work it in for the new people. Okay, here we go. Go turn my outlets back on. Test and prove we got power. Okay. Outlet's on and our light is on, and we're going to test it on the top one also, make sure everything's good and perfect. We're all set there. That's how you replace, or that's how you quick wire an outlet. Good to go.